Hello everyone, welcome to the QuickBooks Accounting 64A class. My name is Shubha Gopal. I will be the instructor for this course. So a little bit about myself. I'm a CPA licensed in California. I'm also a chartered accountant. So apart from teaching here at Foothill, I also work as an accounting consultant. I do services mostly for privately held companies and startups. I help out with acquisitions and mergers a lot. So I've been teaching here at Foothill for the last 10 years. I have taught accounting 1A, 1B, QuickBooks, and Excel. Really happy we are presenting this course in a new format. So we have moved from the QuickBooks desktop version to the QuickBooks online version using cloud computing. What this means is the program uses cloud or the internet to store and access data. So you can log in from anywhere, you can enter data from anywhere. So that's really cool. And this system will work on both PC and Mac. Earlier with the desktop version, used to have big issues with the Mac computers. So I'm so glad we are out of it now. So now I'm gonna share my screen with you and walk through some PowerPoint slides here. We will first start with the book. So the book for this course is the Pearson book, Introduction to QuickBooks Online Plus by Janet Horn. We need the textbook plus a trial version of the software. So this textbook comes in two formats. One is the print version and a digital version. So the print version is about $200 and it includes an access code which you use to activate a trial version of the software. The digital version is only $50. It does not automatically come with an access code, but you can apply to Intuit for a free trial version of the software. And Intuit has told me that access will be granted within a day to the registered students. So I know your textbook says it can take up to 3 days, but I have spoken to the Intuit reps and they told me that sometimes it will be done as fast as 20 minutes. So all the more, I recommend you to buy the digital version because the cost is much cheaper and you're going to get the access to the same trial version of the software within a day, hopefully. So in the next steps, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to apply uh, for the Intuit trial version, which is for free. So I'm going to open the QuickBooks screen, the Intuit screen, which I had open. Hold on a minute as I cycle through my screens here. So this is the URL for applying for the trial version of the software. So here you will type in intuiteducation.com first. And then that takes you to the screen where you will select your software as QuickBooks and then select students register for free. So now let me go back to this screen here. So what happens here is before you apply for the trial version of the software, you have to create an account with Intuit, and this the email that you use here will become your user ID every time you log into QuickBooks Online. So fill in your name, email. I prefer using the school email address, but if you don't have one, you can use your private email as well. And then fill up your birth date, the school name, of course, use Foothill College, and then major, concentration, I leave it up to you. School type will be community college, and then student type, fill in if you are going to be a full-time or a part-time student, and your expected graduation date. Once you click on verify and continue, Many times Intuit asks students to upload an ID. That could be your Foothill ID, or it could be a course transcript, or even a course schedule. And access will be granted once they verify your identity. So this step is not in the book, and Intuit may not ask it for many of its students. But for some students who it is not able to readily verify on a database that they have, they're going to ask you to upload a student ID. So do that, and within 3 business days, that's what your book says. But I've heard within a day, you should receive an email which gives you the access code and the license number to be able to activate the software. So then, having said that, now I'm going to go back to my slides. So we've talked about the book. Then what is the difference between manual and computerized accounting? So if you look at it, it's not that much different, except that, of course, now it's much faster and record keeping is painless. And then we move on to this next slide, and I want to talk to you a little bit about how this book works. So everything in the book was correct up to the point of writing it, but QuickBooks is constantly evolving. So they made some changes to the navigation bars. The author has done a good job of, presenting what was there before and how do you compare to what is there now. So the changes are not major changes, and I think students should be able to figure it out pretty easily. And if you have any questions, always you can always message me on Canvas or send me an email. And then I also wanted to talk briefly about the apps which are used in conjunction with QuickBooks. In corporate accounting, these apps are very popular now. So you'll see a lot of companies use an invoicing app. The bill pay app is very popular, and there are hundreds of such apps. PayPal is used with QuickBooks, and so on. But apps are outside the purview of our curriculum, so we will not be dealing with it. If you go to apps.intuit.com, you can see the whole list of apps that is used with QuickBooks. And in case you have some questions about that, you can bring that to me. And then next, I also want to show you here that pearsonhighered.com/corn. This URL, it's also available on your book. This will have the student download page. So the students will go here to this web page for all the files that they would need for doing their homework. So we'll see more of that beginning chapter 2, because you start working on the software literally from chapter 2. So then the next slide is about different versions of QuickBooks. So the QuickBooks version that we will use for this class is QuickBooks Online Plus. And then versions of the QuickBooks Desktop, these are listed here. We used to use Premier for this class before. Then there are these subscriptions for payroll. We will go into more detail about payroll when we come to it in chapter 9. It's a bit away. Then what is QuickBooks Plus? Again, as I told you, it's a cloud-based software, and data is stored using very secure encryption, and so it is very safe. The system requirements, these are the supported browsers for QuickBooks Online, which is Chrome, Internet Explorer 10.0, Firefox, and Safari. You can also use it on your iPhone and iPad, although I don't recommend iPhone for your course. Then, how is the training going to be on QuickBooks Online Plus? So you will always see these 2 buttons on your textbook. One is called as a drill and one is a do. What that means is drill is meant for practice. And so what happens is we are going to use 2 versions of the software, one for practice and one for do. So the drill for the drill, you're going to use the test drive company that is provided by Intuit Online, which is again free. That you will use to practice your transactions. And once you have practiced in the test drive company, you will enter those transactions in your own trial version. So beginning chapter 2, you will create your own fictitious company in your trial version. And then every time the book will instruct you to practice transactions with the test drive company and then enter them in your own company. So that's how this course and this book is going to work. And then in your trial version, the company that you will create beginning chapter 2 is called your name. You'll put your name, Beach Barkers. It's an interesting name. That's because this is supposed to be a pet care services company. So that's why that name. Again, you'll practice your transactions in the test drive company and then you'll enter them here. So the chances for making mistakes are less. So what is the difference between the test drive company and the trial version? So let me open up the test drive company, and then we will see more of that. So here I'm going to go here and I'm going to say qbo.intuit.com/redirect/test drive. So this is going to be the URL for the test drive company. So every time you see that drill on your book, you will log into your test drive company, and this is the web address, and this is also in your textbook. It's also in the syllabus. So once you click, and then I continue again. So here, so this is the sample company, which is part of the test drive company. So here you can practice all your transactions. The difference between the test drive company and your trial version will be that no data can be saved on the test drive company. So it's just for practice. Then once you enter the transactions in your own trial version, the data can be saved there. So you will enter transactions for every chapter, save the data, and you will print reports, or rather export reports to Excel, and you will submit that at Canvas. That's how the homework will work. I will get into more details when we come to chapter 2. Because in chapter 1, you really just explore the QuickBooks program. You're not going to be printing any reports. All that will come in chapter 2. So chapter 1 is a very easy chapter. We'll make use of this time, to apply for the free trial version to Intuit for QuickBooks Online Plus. The trial version will be valid for 1 year. And then second is for students to become familiar with how the course works and also with the navigation bar on QuickBooks. So I'm going to stop this video here, and I will record another video explaining how the navigation bar works on QuickBooks.